Okay. To begin our second module today, we would like to call upon Dr. Lai and Dr. Aini. Right. As this session will be conducted casually, do feel free to butt in to share anything you guys have. To start off, we would like to hear from Dr. Lai about his experience as an alumni of UTM.
Okay, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, and I think you can see my handsome face also, right? Yeah. Okay, so thank you, IET UTM on campus to invite me for this forum session. So first of all, just make some correction about my profile. I'm actually not a senior lecturer of faculty science, and in fact, I'm actually from industry. Okay, so currently I'm founder and managing director of Softtronics Sdn Bhd. Okay, I started my I got my first degree from Faculty of Electrical Engineering. That is back to year 2000. Okay, I still remember. I sit for my last paper, and I haven't got my degree yet. Okay, the next day I go to work in Panasonic. So I remember this very much. Okay, I was working in Panasonic for 5 years as an R&D engineer. So we make audiovisual equipment in Panasonic. And then I moved to work in Singapore for 1 year, also Panasonic. After 1 year, I decided to come back to Malaysia and to do my own business, but I failed for the first 2 years. Yeah? First 2 years I failed. So I joined a local company in 2008 for 3 years before I start Softtronics Sdn Bhd, okay, which is my current company. So along the way, 2011, I back to campus again to pursue my master degree from Faculty of Management. Okay, so it took me 5 years because starting business at the same time to do study. So it took me 5 years to complete my master. So immediately after 2015, I graduated. So I continue my PhD. So same thing. I'm working, running my business, and also continue my PhD. Just last year, finally, after 7 years, I got my doctorate degree from Faculty and Management. Okay, so it's a long journey. It's a long journey. So I told myself, finally, I got hat trick. I got hat trick from UTM, my first degree, my master, and my PhD. Yeah, that's my experience and profile. Yeah. Okay.
Congratulations, Dr. Lai. So happy to hear that. Moving on to Dr. Ain,
Hi.
would you like to share on how it has been your journey throughout UTM?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, Dr. Loud and clear.
All right. Okay. Hello everyone. Hello, Dr. Lai. My name is Nadia. You can call me Nadia. I am basically a civil engineering first year though, I guess, from my first degree until my PhD. To be honest, I don't like civil engineering. When I first know that I will get civil engineering as my first degree from the UPU, I cried buckets because I don't think there's anything um, pretty or beautiful that I'm going to do later. All the water dams, all the roads, all ugly stuff. But so I cried bucket. I didn't even want to go to UTM because it's too far away from my home. I am from Kuala Lumpur. So there's a lot of universities in Kuala Lumpur. I was thinking, why can't I get one of them? Why I've been goes to UTM? But I make goods of my own path. So I graduated first class for my degree. In fact, I was actually also the valedictorian, meaning that I give speech during the graduations in UTM graduation convocation, and I also receive convocation awards. And then I pursue my masters for less than 1 year, because during that time, I honestly don't know what I want to do, but I know that I love studying, and UTM have given me a very good environment to do that. I took my master for less than 1 year, about 9 months. I just speed it out because Dr. Lai is working. I am just sitting in the home, studies and studies. That's it. And then I continue my PhD in civil engineering. And in 2017, I graduated, and because I am a UTM scholars, so I was absorbed into the lecturer schemes as well. So yeah, that's about me and my experience in UTM.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Aang. Moving on to Dr. Lai. Dr. Lai, may I know the
Yeah.
reason why you decided to pursue a degree in the field of electrical engineering, and why was UTM
Um,
your choice?
yeah. Okay. Back in 1995, 96. Okay, that's after my SPM. So at that time, UTM took SPM graduates. You see, okay, UTM took I'm one of them. Uh, so I'm the youngest in the family. So to be frank, so none of the elders they have entered university. So the parents put high hope. Hey, you should at least go to the tertiary education. So being able to enter UTM without pursue metrics or even Form 6, right? So there's a shortcut, the fastest ticket. So, and then what UTM can provide at the time, mainly engineering course. So, of course, there are a lot in like civil engineering, okay, chemical, electricals, okay. But I choose electrical as the first choice because, in fact, I like to play around with electrical goods during my students' time, childhood, right? Okay, so open up the devices and open the screw and put it back, see what inside the PCB and so on. So, okay, first thing, I have no choice. That's why I go to UTM. It's the fastest way. I don't want to drag some more to Form 6 or whatsoever. Second things, only engineering, and then the course that I choose, which closest to my what I like, that is electrical engineering. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
What about you, Dr. Aang? Was civil your first choice, or is there any particular reason why you decided to pursue civil or continue furthering into the course?
No, actually, during like I mentioned, I hate civil engineering. But what I do love, I actually love managing resources. I love managing. So I love managing people. I love managing monies. So when I pursue my civil engineerings, basically in civil engineering, you have a lots of directions that you can go. Either you can go to the environments parts, or you can go to the geological parts, or you can go to the structure parts, or you can go to the management. So I went to the management of it. I went to become what now, if it's in industry, it's a project manager. So I manage the resources. So in university, I teach about financial management to my students, how to manage their money, how if you want to become a company, how you're going to do all your financial statement, financial positions and everything. And I also teach people and my students about law, how to get with the standard form of contracts and everything. So yeah, like I've said mentioned previously, I make the best of my situations. I don't like the civil engineering parts of the civil engineering parts, but I love managing people. So that's what I do. I manage students now. In fact, I am the acting associate director of UTM Internationals. So my office works for managing the international counterparts of universities in UTM. So yeah. So if you are I'm sorry if I've been overboard, but if you are somewhere that you don't like first, um, try to own it. Try to make it better for you. What can you do if you are being uh, pushed into these situations? How can you make the situations better? And that's what I've been doing with my life. So thank you, Dirin.
Thank you, Dr. Ain. Going back to Dr. Lai, leaving university, Doctor, back in the days, how has the education back then shaped what you have in your career? You, like you said, you got into Panasonic. Like, how has that, what you learned back then, helped in pursuing that career?
Okay. During my days, okay, we because we are the batch of students that enter UTM with our SPM qualifications. Uh, so what we have in the first year, second year is so more the subjects like those matriculations or Form 6, like the basic calculus, all these things, we don't really go into engineering subject as what we are major. Okay, and then some more. We have a challenge at the time. My batch, the first batch to take 4 years, 4 years to complete the engineering course. We are the so-called, we call guinea pig to test out whether we can finish within 4 years or not, all our credits. Uh, okay, frankly speaking, what we learn from UTM is truly very basic, very, very basic. Okay. Uh, Sufficient for us to get a degree, because all the job opening, the requirement is probably an engineer require you to have a degree, a paper. So it's sufficient for you to go into the corporate world, industry to start your career. So what I'm trying to advise the students nowadays, you do not stop study. You do not stop study. If possible, after you got your bachelor degree, either you want to pursue directly your postgraduate, go ahead. Or if you want to go a harder way like me, okay, having a working and having your family at the same time, then uh, go for it as well. Okay, at least you go further, one step further, got your master. So you make yourself not just with a higher qualification, but with up to date knowledge and technologies, informations in the job industry or industry, okay, industrial world. Okay, for me, like I go beyond engineering. I took technology management in my master degree, and on my research, I also do a research on the management, not really engineering. So I got both sides of knowledge, engineering as well as management side. So that will be good. Right? Yeah. Thank you.
Well, when it comes to Dr. Ain, however, Doctor, you have merged into the teaching field. So how different is it compared to Dr. Lai?
So you see, I love what Dr. Lai have been talking about because, yeah, I agree completely with him that universities give you actually the basic of it. It's just a foundation. See, because I'm a civil engineer, I talk about the foundation. So it's foundation. It's up to you how you're going to build it. Are you going to build a bigger space of it, or you're going up, you're going higher, or you're just going to make a small huts and everything? It all depends to you. Um, I'm a very firm believer of you need to take your educations, you need to pursue your studies, and in my humble opinions, you can get nowadays you can get informations everywhere, right? You can actually join the MOOCs, join the Google certificates and everything. But what you have from the universities, what we I believe the ones that is the environments that help you. You are finding peoples with like minds. You are doing the networking there. You already have the lecturers that if you have question, you can ask them later on. In fact, I've got still got students that contact me, doctor, how to do this and everything, that have been graduated 2 or 3 years before, because the networking is still there. They can still ask me questions in the theoretical parts of it and everything. And there is a different mindset for people who already have degrees, that when they goes to the industry, they become, they are, because we give you the foundation, they understand the foundation and not only the applications. After you go there, then you apply the informations. So yeah, I agree completely. We give the basics, in addition we give the nature of it, so you can blossom as a good flowers for you to be a good engineer or even an entrepreneur or anything that you like. So that's what I think about the question. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Ain. So back to Dr. Lai. Doctor, currently as a working in the engineering field, have you ever bumped into any former UTM alumni or graduates who have just finished studying in UTM? And how has that
Yeah.
been? Have you been networking with them and feel how different is it back then and now?
Yeah. You see, when I graduated, I was enrolled into Panasonic, and very amazing. That time, Panasonic is in Pasir Gudang, Johor Bahru. So we have one batch of FKE students being taken into that company. So, but the problem is the FKE at that time, our graduation batch has almost 500 students. So we don't know each other much when we are in UTM, but we know each other well after we go to Panasonic, and we have become friends until now. Today, even some of us already resign and go to work in other companies, right? So, okay, uh, come to the point when I started my own company. So I began to go to in a more servicing field rather than R&D, but still in engineering, EE engineering, electronics and electrical. And I have customers like Intel, a lot of MNC. Okay, and I bound some graduates from UTM. I bound I met one UTM graduate. Amazingly, he was graduated from chemical engineering, but he managed to join Intel to work in the EE field. You see, it's so amazing. Okay, a graduate in chemical but can work in the electronics field. So in Intel, okay, it got high and senior post for this customer. Is my customer. Okay, and if you look at our EE industry, there are some very brilliant and successful technopreneur, I call. Okay, if you see in northern side, Penang, right, it's a Silicon Valley, a lot of EE company. If you take one of the local company, AE Molus, okay, Mr. Ng Sang Beng is actually our FKE graduates. So the company is listed in our Bursa. So they are doing very well. Okay, so I always proud to become UTM graduates alumni. That's why I took my master and also my PhD in UTM. You see, yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Mm.
And thank you, Doctor. So, Dr. Ann, as you are constantly in contact with UTM students, UTM graduates, how different do you think the alumni, the current alumni, are compared to back then, to your generation? Your generation, I mean, you're back in your time.
Oh, you're talking about generation gaps. Oh, that would be very interesting. Mm, I believe that the older generations of the ones that higher ups, the seniors and everything, they are more face to face kind of people. So when you met them, they likes you to be engaged physical with them and everything. And the new alumni, they likes to do media social. If you meet if you meet them online, they are very very like into themselves. But if you meet in Facebook, it's like blah, 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 and everything, and they were very different. That kind of things. I believe that yeah, the older generations is much more engaged in their physical ways of it. They are very, very, when they have friends, they attach, and they met regularly. But the new version, the new alumni, they are more connected socially, I guess, and they still help each other. I know that some of them are very still good friends and everything. They still help each other, but they don't meet that frequent. They meet online. I think that's the biggest differences between the generations. We're talking about the generations. So yeah, that's it.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I definitely agree with that. So, so Dr. Lai, as you have just finished your PhD in UTM, so I've seen you picked your degree in UTM, your master's in UTM, and a PhD in UTM. So, why has UTM become special to you compared to other universities around?
Okay. The reason I choose UTM when I pursue my postgraduate, of course, first thing is where I base. I still based in JB, so it's for distance wise very convenient for me to reach out. The second thing, of course, environment. When you go back to an environment to study that you're familiar with, because you are already familiar with during your first degree, bachelor degree. So you feel like going home, right? Going to your alma mater to study, right? This is very, I feel good, you see? You feel good to have that such kind of environment that you're familiar, okay? And also, probably another thing is that you still have some connection with the lecturers that you know. Even it's a different faculty that I go in, but some of them may be recommended by your previous lecturers, right? So they know each other well. So it's very good. And then they become your supervisor for your research. So that's the reason I choose UTM. And then, of course, during my master degree, I met good lecturers, and also they, which actually they encouraged me to continue my PhD. So there is once I started to have doubt why I choose to believe that lecturers advice. But after I graduated last year, I'll be very thankful to him. Also, at least I take his advice 7 years ago. Okay, and complete my hat tricks in UTM. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Les. Congratulations, Doctor. I'm so proud to call you as an alumni of UTM. So, Dr. Ainu, can we hear it from you? Why do you think UTM is special compared to other universities, be it the students, the lecturers, or even the research graduates, all of them?
Alamak, that's very new. Okay, I'm going to put it this way, because I've been in the UTM internationals, and also a lecturer. We have a lot of alumni. In fact, if you go anywhere, there will be one person cakap, "Oh, I'm from UTM as well." When you say you're from UTM, there will be one person say, "Oh yeah, I went to a police station and to report an accident. And when I told them that, oh, I'm a lecturer, I was just saying I'm from UTM, and that policeman, the lance corporal, I can't remember, but a bit of a higher ups of it, and she turns to me and she said, "Oh, I'm from UTM as well." And I was like, "Oh, that's good. That's we are everywhere. We are like virus." So that's connections. They give you, just like when it felt like you are brothers and sisters. So they help you to blossoms and everything, and that's what make you become, because it's all about networking out there. It's all about relationships out there. Who is your friends? Who can you go to if you have questions and everything. So having this mass network will help you a lot. That's one thing why UTM is better. And when you talk about engineering in Malaysia, obviously people will say UTM. We have a lot of other universities comes to benchmark with us. In fact, last month we've got from Open University Malaysia, OUM, came in order to ask how did we do this kind of things and everything. And because we are among in Malaysia, six the research universities, when you go somewhere as a researcher or as someone, people get notice of you. So a prestigious names of it for you because I have research universities. Even if you are just a lowly lecturer just like me, when you go to big meetings, they've got professors, they got everything. But when you say, "Oh, I'm from UTM," they give you a different perspective of it. And in fact, if you give to any when I went to for supervising my student for internships, and they say, "Oh, you are UTM student. UTM students is good in terms of they're not knowledgeable, but they would love to learn." And I'm hoping that that's the things that we can instill in our students, the ability to learn new things, to flourish in their environment. So that's why UTM is the best, I think. Plus, there are some good food inside the UTM, so that's the reason why it's a good place to be in UTM.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aing. I agree that the UTM has one of the greatest food in the campus. Okay. So, Dr. Lai, as I am a student in the FKE faculty,
Oh,
so
okay.
uh,
Super Junior.
as very super junior, yeah. So, Doctor, what advice would you give to a current student or a prospective in UTM, and what can they do to have like the proper development and personal growth in their university life?
Mm, okay. As we shared just now, right? Dr. Ang also mentioned about it. Definitely, the education you get in UTM is very basic. Okay, so one day when you step out, to work, then you will know in the industrial world, there's a lot of things moving very fast. It's too fast until that you cannot cope with it sometime. Okay, so it's so much competitive. Okay, so when you are in UTM, okay, no, regardless you are from FKE or whatsoever, even other courses, not engineering, I think do well in your study. This is the most basic. I regretted because I don't do very well. I'm not as smart as Dr. Aing. So I just second lower score, second lower scorer. Okay. But when I went out to work, okay, I found this scenario that a lot of things that requirements in the job industry, we did not learn in our university life. Some of the soft skill, okay, soft skills that you have to maintain a good relationship in the job environment, decision making. Sometimes if you are put into the project leader, you have to have a leadership skill. So what can you try to do when you are in UTM? Okay, do not just focus on your study. Okay, so I mentioned you have to score well, but also that I remind you, do not focus only on your study. Try to maintain a good network with your friends, okay, with your lecturers, okay. Don't make enemies, make more friends, okay. When one day when you graduate, maybe you need their help, okay. Another thing is join some activities that that's out of the classroom. Like what you are doing in IET on campus. I think this is good, right? You met with a sponsor, you coordinate with us, right? It train you how to do organizations, right? So besides studies, so try to do some other things that can help to build your personality. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Going to Dr. Ain. Dr. Ain, as you are more aware of how busy a student's life is these days with the bundle of assignments, incoming assignments. I'm sure, Doctor, you give assignments as well. So what advice would you give students in UTM these days, and how should they prepare themselves to go out of UTM once they graduate?
Oh dear. I felt very guilty now because I just just quiz my student. um, my biggest advice is time management. You need to be very careful with your time management. How you manage times. Well, work in a team is a very good, all right? Especially if you are doing assignment and everything. Don't work in silo. Work with your friends. Ask from your friends. Everything that's something that's the reason why you're in universities. You have friends. You can go and um, compare your answers with them and ask them. Time management is very important. The second one is smart. Work smart. Don't work hard. Okay, you have a lot of I might get my license as a lecturer, but you have a lots of internet not technologies now to help you, right? AI. I'm a big fan of ChatGPT. Actually, I'm really sorry about that. It guide you. You don't use it and paste everything. No, but it guides you. You can use it to your biggest advantages. So use all the resources that you have. Don't work in silo and have a very good time management. That's a three thing. And have a lot of get a very good sleep. Okay, my student all I think yeah lah, because engineer kan they like to sleep late. Don't sleep late. Go sleep early and then wake up early. Okay, sleep at 11, wake up at 6, and then start doing it. But I just want to add, Dr. Lai, it doesn't matter how good, but you are among. I believe that you are among our very success stories, becoming your entrepreneurs, and you create job opportunities. You are the reason why we are happy to become a lecturers. So yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you, Dr. Ain. Right, we have a question from one of our students. So I'll ask Dr. Life, Doctor, are there any specific resources or programs that you recommend for students who want to explore their experience in their career field further?
Okay. I'm not sure if you are still in campus. I mean, as a undergraduates, what can you do? So because I've left student life for so long, because even postgraduate, we don't much involved in campus activities, right? So what can I advise you is upon graduate, if you come to a job industry, okay, one of them, of course, postgraduate study. Okay, either you pursue a postgraduate study to pursue your master or PhD like me, or you can take up some other course that are relevant to your skills, the professionalism. Do not stop learning. Okay, and the motive you go for learning, not just for the purpose of qualifications. Okay, so when I go for my postgraduate study, for example, I do not really go for qualification. I do not need the title of a doctor or just another certificate, because I'm not going for interview anymore, because I own my own company. You see, but I go for the motive to have further knowledge. Okay, further knowledge and then build network. So during my postgraduate, I met people and a coursemate from tax LHDN. So they are civil servant in that LHDN. I also met policemen. Policemen, they continue the study. You see, okay, there's a postgraduate or other courses. The second avenue that nowadays, I think there's a lot of institution and agencies that allows you to pursue your professionalism. For example, myself, I took technologies from MBOT. Okay, and again, I go for it not just for the title of TS. I don't need that Tan Sri, so-called the TS Tan Sri title. Okay, I go for it also for the motive of networking. Probably I can make someone else in the circle of TS technologies, and also the seminar, the courses that organized by this MBOT, for example. Okay, so these are the few avenues, and then people like me, I'm in business and entrepreneurship. So we join also some trade organizations. So in our Chinese businessman circle, we have a lot of trade organizations. So there's also that trade organizations in our business world that is not only limited to Chinese. We have a trade organization which is long history in Malaysia, like MICCI, Malaysia Industry or something. So from there you met people again, and you learn from others. There's a lot of avenues. So this is something that I encourage you to join after you enter to work industry. And again, same thing. Don't just clock in 9 o'clock, go back 6 p.m. Routine work. Do something else extra in your life, okay, to build your network and learn more. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lai. Moving on to Dr. Ain, we have another question. Dr. As you said, you were the valedictorian in UTM during your time. So, did you have any involvement in clubs, organization, or extracurricular activities at your time in UTM? If so, how did it enhance your university experience?
Oh, okay. I am in college. I was the secretary for I can't remember what's the English word for it, but we call it JKM, Jawatan Kuasa College Mahasiswa. Yeah, so I was one of the representative of it. And yeah, one, it helped me with my networkings and everything. The second one is that this coincide also with what I'm doing right now as an manager in UTM Internationals. We went for a lots of internationals programs like global outreach. You guys should be going. It's just awesome. I went to Beijing. I learned using chopstick there. So I'm not very good, but I can say I learned authentically from Beijing how to use chopsticks. And I went for attachments when I was in my PhD in Manchester. So that's networking. That also helped me become independent, which is I feel that very important for students nowadays. You have to become independent. That's how you become a good entrepreneur. And what is other organization extracurricular activities other than that, internationals programs and everything. So I'm also very active last time in like what's what we call here um, I'm not sure what's the words, but I was one of the peoples who used the in the debate teams and also in competitions and everything, and they help you to overcome your stage frights, because when you're working, you're going to present a lot of things to the authorities. You're going to your boss and everything, and you have to have that stage persona that you have. So yeah, that can help you a lot in your university experience. And joining like IET, like there's a lot of other like global bodies. We have that global bodies as well, interactions, everything will really, really help you in the long run. Okay, not only it will give you sometimes free meals. Okay, I talk a lot of food because I'm hungry. I did not eat yet. I'm sorry about that. But at the same time, you meet people, and also you've got other that kind of experience or that kind of skills that you can't get it from just being inside the classroom.
Hey, thank you so much, Dr. Ain. At the same time, Dr. Ain, we would like to ask, how did the UTM's faculty and staff also contributed to your academic and personal growth?
Oh, how did UTM contribute to my academic personal? I well, I'm a lecturer, so they they significantly influenced me to become one of them, join the dark side kind of things. So so how did they contribute? I'm I make good reports with my lecturers. So when I don't know what I want to do, I ask them. So what should I do? And they ask me what do you think that you can. Some of the okay, here's the thing. This is the reality of it. Some of the faculty and some of the staff can be a bit hostile, can be like not friendly, and you go meet them and they become really like especially in counter and everything. Okay, but you need uh they also help you in dealing with difficult situations and everything. So in the end you become a better persons, not to become angry with them and everything. And common courtesy is something that I learned from uh well from the even from the younger age of it. So yeah, dealing with the good people from my faculty giving me advice helped me become better, and then dealing with the difficult people in stuff in UTMs and everything also helped me to become better. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ain. So, Dr. Lai, one question for you would be, as a graduate of UTM, when you're applying for an internship or an entry-level position or even an executive position, let's say in Softronic, what do you look for in the graduates when you're hiring in your company?
Okay. Nowadays, when we take interns and fresh grade to work, we do take, even our company is really small. We do take new people these few years. When I look back, we no longer care much how well you did in your academics. That's to me, to my company. But I'm not discouraging you that you don't do well in your study. Okay. So to us, we are no longer care much at what you have on your paper. Okay. Even initially, we set up technical tests. Okay, some electronics questions to the candidates before they enter during they come for interview. But later we also scrap that requirements. So what we are concerned now, more how you reflect to some questions that we ask during interview. Okay, example, sometimes I will ask the questions. Which one you think is more important, the life or the work? So you prefer to have works that give you a very good rewards, but then you have to work hard until night that you do not have life. So which one is more important, job scope or the salary? Okay, things like that. Okay, so what I encounter that some of the students, they have some of the candidates, they have a very good mindset. They know what they are. So to me, there's no right and wrong, whichever you answer. I just want to understand you more. So later, when you come to work, that we can put you into the best positions, okay, to continue your career in our company. So, but I'm a bit worried, and with the young generation of graduates nowadays, um, seems like you do not know what to achieve in your life. Okay, probably there's too much choice in the society, in the work market. You see a lot of people, they get an engineering degree, but they will end up joining we call gig economies kinds of jobs. Right? You don't pursue your professionals. What I feel that is a very we call sayang lah. So the government give you a lot of subsidies in your tertiary education. you all know well, right? To study in Malaysia, actually government subsidizes a lot. Okay, and then your mom, maybe your parents send you to the university to study, but you do not pursue your professional. That's somehow I feel very sayang. And then the second problem is the young generation. You can't really make decision about your future. Okay, a lot of candidates I found on the spot. I say, okay, tomorrow you come to work, but they answer me, can I go back to ask my mom first? Okay, okay, I go back to ask my mom first whether to accept this job. So I feel like you can't even make a decision for your career. You need a family member to decide for you. So I have some worry. If you come to a company, our company, a lot of decision you have to ask your mom. A lot of decision you have to ask your mom. So that's what I'm trying to put out is yeah, academic qualification is part of the important requirements, but another point, another area that now employer appreciate more what you are thinking in your mind, okay, your mindset, okay, beside the academic qualification. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lai. To add to that, Dr. Lai, how we would like to know how is UTM graduates value in the industry, and does the name of UTM bring any value to an application, be it your company or
Okay.
outside companies?
Okay. You see that my company, also called a second man. He's a technical guy. He's a principal consultant. So he's a technical guy. He's a graduate from UTM. So the first thing is because I set up a principles on myself that I try my best as much to enroll UTM graduates to my company. So right, is to contribute back to my alma mater. Okay. Okay. Whether UTM graduates is also called like how to say any value, right? Any value. Okay. So I cannot say that a person's value builds on where you graduate, right? A person's value should not be come from where you graduate, regardless whether you graduate from UTM, overseas, any university in Malaysia. The value can be only proven after you work for some time, show the result, to prove to your management, to your supervisor, right? That's the value we can see. So UTM give you only a ticket to enter the job market. Value, you have to build your own. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lai. Sadly, Dr. Lai and Dr. M, we have reached to the end of our session. However, if you were to leave the students and the graduates listening with one thing before you go, what would it be?
Okay. For me, just one thing. I'm sorry. This is not an engineering anything, but sleep well. Take care of your mental health and be independent. Yeah, because I agree completely. The student nowadays, they really, really, really are very. I'm sorry, but you guys have to be thinking the decision by your own and not asking yeah, some of them, yeah, even their moms comes to me and ask question and ask whether their sons can go inside the university or not. I'm just really worried whether their son really want to go universities or not. Or maybe their mother is actually want to go to universities. So yeah, sleep well, take care of your health, mental health, and be independent. That's it for me. Thank you.
So
What about
my
Dr.
side,
Yeah,
okay.
like one thing you would like to.
Uh, okay. My advice to the students, especially those who are going to graduate, set your mindset clearly what you want to achieve in your life. Okay. I think we all know that we live temporarily in this world. Okay. You just have one life to do something for yourself, okay, for the people around you, for this country, okay. That's why I think sometimes even we should flashback the motto of UTM, kerana Tuhan untuk manusia, right? So when you pursue your career, okay, sometimes I see people graduates, when they pursue their career, they want to pursue a wealthy life, okay, a wealthy life. I think that is not the ultimate goal, right? So beside wealthy life, there is something that you can do. Okay, for example, when I have my own business, I never think of that I want to become a rich man. But what I think of it is, when I start a company, I can provide job opportunities to the market, right? And then my company do export. Okay, so we can generate export income for the country, right? So this is some things that we have to think in whatever position you are, whether like Dr. Ayn, some of you may follow like Dr. Ayn, pursue your lecturing career. Yeah, maybe you have to think, oh, I want to become a lecturer that produce more quality graduates supplied to the job market, for example, right? So that's very important. Set your mindset very clear what you want to achieve in your life, okay? Because very fast, out of a sudden, when I think back, I just young graduates and then work in Panasonic. Now, maybe another 15 years, I'm going to retire. Okay, so time flies very fast. Okay, so plan well, set your target clear, mindset clear, and then go and do it. Yeah, that's my advice. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lai. Dr. Ayn, we have another question.
Alamak.
So sorry, Doctor. We have lots of questions. We have just yet to post them up. So sorry. Just like your insight on that. So someone would like to know how has it been teaching in UTM, and is there any difference you feel you would have done in your life? Let's say you didn't want to go into teaching, would you have reached into any other career?
Oh dear. How's teaching? Teaching is uh not good. But you've got the rewards when you see your students flourish. I seriously, when I check my Facebook and everything, I saw my students they got promotions. When I go to LinkedIn, and then I saw my students get well, uh, they are happy and everything. That's the reward that you got. You have to have that kind of mindset if you want to be a lecturer, because you work 24 hours. That's one thing about lecturers. You've got classes in the night, you've got classes in Friday, you've got talk in Saturday like this. You've got a lot of things that you have to do. So get your rewards in terms of your when you see your students become well, when your students become happy. That's one thing that make me that's the rewards that I think that um you won't have that much of money, yeah, as a lecturer. You actually have just simple servants, government servant, but you still go well. You have a lots of, it's a very noble professions. You are helping other people to become better and everything. So that's the things that you need to remember, the value added that you can give. And what was the question again? The first one is, how is the lecturer? I'm saying not bad. The second one is was?
And what advice would you give students who like to pursue into teaching in the
All right.
future?
Okay. If you want to be a lecturer, make sure from now on you go check which is this is a very important, which is the gap. Do not go for subjects that have a lot of lecturers. Do not go for subject that have a lots of, that's already very saturated. Go something different. Okay. For example, in UTM, in civil engineering especially, we have a lot of lecturers in materials. We have a lots of lecturers in environments, because it's very popular. Really, everybody is talking about SDGs and everything. but not many goes to the management's part of it, because yeah, who wants to manage people? People have problems. But go to the gaps of it, find out where you can be and grab that opportunity. And you need to for if you want to work in UTM, you at least have to have doctor. So Dr. Lai, if you don't want to become if you want to have, you can also come back become a lecturer. Okay, but you need have doctors. But other place, really, if you are from UTM, again, not only industry, we are everywhere in UTHM. Our vice chancellor of UTHM is actually our lecturer in Kelantan. UMK is also our the TNC is our lecturer. What else? UMT, I can't remember, but a lot of places. We are from UTM. So yeah, so just pursue your studies. Again, find a niche that you can be good in and the gap that you can fill in. That's it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ai. Now we are open to Q&A sessions, which there is only a few more questions left to answer, so sorry. So the next question I'd like to ask Dr. Lai. Dr. Lai, is there any program offered by a faculty that students can join to enhance their soft skills in the future? At the same time, Dr. Lai would ask, what course do you think that students should major in for them to have a high employability rate in the future?
Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm no longer in the campus. I'm not sure what can the campus offer in terms of the program. In terms of what kind of program to join to enhance the soft skill in the future. Okay, there's a lot of avenue to enhance your soft skills. Of course, the first thing, put yourself into that environment, means you have to join some activity and organizations. That's the real field that tests your soft skill, how to dealing with people. Okay, but once you enter to the job markets, that's the battlefield that you can test your soft skill. There's a lot of politics in the company, right? Office politics. So if you see how you manage your soft skill. So this is something that is not a classroom training that you cannot learn from a textbook, right? Soft skill is something that you cannot learn from the textbook. Okay, but of course, if you want to learn some things that from the classroom, a lot, right? Now you can go for online, some free courses. There's a lot that you can. Where else you can go to the seminar? A lot of seminars that organize for you to know point number one, what attitude to have, point number two, point number three. But after all, put yourself to the real battlefield. That's the best. Because as Dr. Ian say, some people, they really like to work in silo. So if you keep yourself work in silo, you will not grow. Even you are a very good student, high scorer. But if you can work in a team, someone can work in a team, he will grow better. Because beside the hard skill, something in the soft skill is very important nowadays. Okay. Why? One day, ChatGPT will replace your hard skill. Okay. But ChatGPT may not replace your soft skill. Whereby I always say, be humanized. Be humanized is something that is the arts that you need to learn. It's not something that you can learn from textbook or classroom. Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lai and Dr. Ain. As a student and a future graduate of UTM, I have definitely learned a lot from your sharing today, both of you. So I'd like to thank you so much. So that is all for our session today, for this evening, this
Thank you.
afternoon. Thank you so much. Please do stay for a short photo session, which will take less than 10 seconds. Now smile.
You want me
Okay,
to
thank
do
you so
this
much,
as
Doctor.
well?
Uh, thank you so much, Dr. Lai. Thank you, Dr. And thank you so much. Bye
All
bye.
right. Thank you,
Thank you.
IET.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of Module 2, Fun Talk with Alumni, and we are